Hello everyone and welcome back to Pens with M's. So today I am going to be going over my currently inked for January, and I know that this is likely to be a long video, so I went ahead and swatched everything ahead of time, and I'm just going to sort of dive into it and I'll explain what I use with what, and we can kind of go from there. So the first one is my Tom Studio Pocket Fountain Pen, and this one has Tesla coil in it. It has a semi-flex nib in it, and it's like a semi-flex fine, and the most special thing about this is that it has an engraving in it, which I adore. It was a gift from my boyfriend and my girlfriend and my boyfriend and my daughter for Christmas this year, and it's so special. It has the rose gold cap and the lilac body, and I have it with Tesla coil because I feel like the sheening in this ink really does a great job of highlighting the line variation that this pen's semi-flex fine nib creates. The second pen I have is my Hachimonjiya and Sailor Kubatsukura Pro Gear, and this has the music nib in it. I have fallen in love with more non-traditional or unique nibs since getting this pen, and I use it every day in my journal. It is perpetually inked with Sailor Ankora April, and I know that I talk about that ink a lot, but it is truly one of my favorite inks. You'll see I have it inked in a couple of other pens too. I really love it. This pen has been through hell. It came with the tines on the nib not very well aligned. Then I had to send it back to Hachimonjiya and they fixed it for me, and then it fell when it was knocked out of my hand by one of my friend's dogs, and then it had to be worked on by a nib master out here in Atlanta. I'll put his information below. He was amazing. He fixed the pen while I was petting his dog, which is like the best nib master experience one can ever imagine. So this is my primary journaler. It's between these two are my two primary journalers, and I think this one will always be inked with this ink. I can't imagine a different pairing. I even have the ink that comes with the pen, like that's like supposed to be paired with a pen, and I don't like it as much as that pairing. The next pen I have is a Jinhao 82 in pastel pink. This one has a fine nib, and in it I have Colorverse Polar Night. This is one of the ones from the advent calendar, and the minute I opened it, I knew that it was my favorite. I knew that there was going to be very little that they could do to beat this pen, and I was right. Like, this ink is my favorite from the whole calendar. I immediately inked this pen, and I use it a lot for note-taking in my Hobonichi, and I love it. It doesn't live on my Hobonichi, but it's never far. The next pen is also a Jinhao 82, and this one is in that sort of like sparkly blue. I don't know, let me see if I can put it up to the camera, see if you can see it, but it's like really pretty, and it's got a medium nib on this one, and I like that it's got the two-tone gold and silver. And this one I use again primarily for note-taking. In my Hobonichi or for work, I use my Hobonichi for work as well, and I'll take notes in like important notes in meetings in my cousin, and then I have another notebook for just like random notes, and this tends to live with that. I put Colorverse Milky Sea in it because the minute I saw that color, I knew immediately that this was the right pen for it. And I've been liking it. I don't know how long I'll keep this one inked, but so far I've been reaching for it and I really like it. The next one I have is the Pilot Kakuno. This is the daughter. You can see that it's got the little bow on the nib. I love that. She's so cute. Anyway, I have her inked with Sleeping Beauty from the Sailor Disney 100. So this is the ink bottle. I love these. They're so beautiful. I probably use her mostly for highlighting in my Hobonichi. So for example, if I want to do like a header in my cousin for something, she gets used a lot for that. She also gets used for journaling a little bit, and also for just like general note taking. She puts a smile on my face, and so I use her quite a lot for that. The next one I have is another Pilot Kakuno, but this one is in the Madurami line, and this one is their pink one. And I have this also in the medium nib, and I have this inked with Old Rose, Kuretake Art Nouveau Old Rose. it's a really beautiful ink. I bought it at Itoya, and I'm pretty sure that you can get it in the States. Like, I think I've seen it on websites, but it's, I haven't seen it in person anywhere. So maybe I'll try to find a link for it. This is one of my favorite inks because it has that like mauve-y brown mix. I've been looking at it and seeing a lot of strawberry chocolate and by Kobe, and I think I want to try that one because I think it should be similar. But for now, this is one that I really like using. This is a journaler, so I journal a lot with this one. The medium is not as juicy as I would expect a medium to be, but that's because it's a Japanese pen. So, you know, it is what it is. I still get a lot of use out of it. The next pen is a pen that I made at Sailor Ankora. So for those who don't know, when you go to the Ankora store in Tokyo, you can make your own pen. And this is a pen that I made when I was there. It's really cool because you can pick every piece of the pen. So this piece, this piece, this piece, the color of the hardware, and then this piece and this piece are all customizable. And then believe it or not, you can make all those choices, but there's only one nib size. I found that so weird. And it's like medium fine. That's such a strange like choice. I don't know. I found that really, really unique. Anyway, I love this pen for just like note taking as well. And I use it in journaling quite a bit. I will also use it in my Hobonichis because I like it for that. But it lives on my desk as a journaling and note taking pen. And also because it makes me happy, you know, like it makes me happy to remember when I made this pen. The other pen that I have is the Jinhao, is the Kaweco Sport in Navy. This pen, I recently bought it in Cincinnati. It was at a little store called Appointments, and it was super, super cute. And I'm just holding it up so you can see just how adorable this little pen is. I got the little gold clip, and when you open it, there we go. It becomes like a full-size pen. I really like this. So I wasn't sure I was going to like it, so I got just the basic Sport, but I can definitely see myself getting a, like the aluminum one that has like a piston filling mechanism because I go through quite a lot of ink, and this one is one where I definitely do. It has a very small converter. So this one is currently in a fine. This one lives attached to my Hobonichi Cousin cover. So this is the Hobonichi cover. This like lives in here, obviously properly done up, but I think it matches it beautifully. That's the main reason I got it. And while I would like to ink it in a more navy color, I don't like really dark colors in my Hobonichi, especially in my Cousin. And so it's inked up with Wearing Oil's Atlas exclusive. And I said it in my Atlas video, I'll say it again, that ink is way prettier than it has to be because I would have bought it just because it's an Atlas exclusive. But god dang it, that's a really beautiful ink. It's this super gorgeous, very, very shimmery sky blue almost. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I love that ink, and I will probably have it in here several months in a row. I could also see myself using Milky Sea in here, but that one might be too dark for what I like. But yeah, I really like that one. The next one that I have is the Jinhao 20 in the pink and rose gold, and that's in a fine nib, and it has the Sailor Ankora April in it. This is the other one that lives permanently on my Hobonichi Cousin cover. I have one pen in each loop. I know that I'm supposed to go through. I don't care. I put one on each side because I use two pens. This is my primary planner pen. I use it for just about everything. I really love it. I love the Sailor Ankora April for using it in my Hobonichi. I feel like it is the perfect color to not ghost heavily. And not that I mind ghosting, I actually really don't care, but I do really like the way that it looks in the Hobonichi as well. It just makes me happy. So I use this one. I also feel like everyone in the fountain pen community discovered this pen at exactly the same time, and so we all have this pen, which I love. I love it because it's pink and rose gold, and like maybe more people will make pink and rose gold pens, and then I'll be very, very happy. Because I don't know if you can tell, but my Grail pen and this pen, like, come on now. However, this one was a lot more expensive than this one. I'm just saying. Anyway, I love this pen. It is my primary planner pen. That one and the Kaweco Sport live together. The other one that I have is, this is a fun story. So this is it's another Jinhao 20, and this is the white and rose gold. And this one is permanently inked up with Lamy Lilac, the Lilac V2, the rebirth of Lilac. I know people are can get pretty heated on this one. I love the ink. It's beautiful. It is the only ink I use in my reading journal. And so this one is forever inked up with it. I just cannot get over the green shimmer and the purple ink. To me, it screams Alphaba, and I don't know why, because Alphaba doesn't have purple, but it just does, and I love it. And it makes me really happy, and I love writing in my reading journal with it. However, cleaning this ink out of any pen is a nightmare. I don't know why. It is so pigmented. I feel like the Tesla coil is similar, but not as bad. I literally have to sit there and wash it and wash it. I need to use like pen washing soap to get it out. It is so pigmented. And so I decided I was just going to keep it in one pen. And so this is the pen that has it. It's handling it pretty well. This ink does have a habit of turning the underside of anything green. I don't know if it's showing up here. Yeah, it tends to turn the underside of your pens green, and it'll clog them. So I do flush it pretty regularly. I literally just flushed it and refilled it today. That's why my hands look like this. But it's a beautiful ink, and I love the way it sheens and shimmers. And so I want to be able to keep using it. And for me, the happy medium was to put it in one pen and never get it out. And because I love this pen, this lives permanently with my reading journal. The next pen I have is it's interesting. I actually have two of them, and let's see which one I'm going to show you first. It's this one. So this is the Lamy AL, I think it is. I put AF, sorry. And this is in the Ravenclaw. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and I've made my peace with the fact that I am, and I'm just a dork, and we're just all going to have to live with that. And so this one is the Ravenclaw one, because I am a Ravenclaw, and it is in the bold. And now my partner bought me this pen, which is the same pen, but it is in a extra fine. And you may ask yourself, why do you have two pens? Why did he get you one in extra fine and then you have one in bold? Well, funny story. This is the pen that he bought me, and this one is currently inked up with Iroshizuku Suigyoku, and I love that ink. It is beautiful, and I love using this for financial planning, of all things. It's such a fine pen that it does really well in financial planning, and so I use this one with this ink for financial planning. However, this pen, I thought that I had lost. So I took it to my daughter's gymnastics studio to do some financial planning in my financial planner. So how many times can I say that word? Financial planner. And I didn't find it when I got back home, and I thought, oh my God, I've lost the pen. Turns out it was just under my couch, but I didn't know that. And because it was a gift from my boyfriend, and it was one of the first fountain pens I ever owned, I was highly sentimental about it. And so I bought this one to pretend that it was the same pen. And I told him, he knew, but we all pretended that this was the pen he got me, and I wasn't talking about it. So I got the bold nib because I wanted to be able to journal with it. I wasn't going to financial plan with it anymore. It was never leaving the house. I was just going to use it for journaling. And then I found this one under the sofa, and I cried. So that is why I have two of them, and this one will forever be inked. This one is inked with Ferris Wheel Press Phantom Mist, which I really love because it reminds me of the bride in the Haunted Mansion. And then this one, like I said, is inked with Iroshizuku Suigyoku because it reminds me of, for some reason, like it's a teal that looks green enough that it reminds me of money, so it works in my financial planner. I have problems. We're gonna run with it. Okay, we're just gonna let me live, and enjoy, I guess, laughing at me. Or be crazy with me. Let's go with that. The next pen that I have is Ferris Wheel Press, the aluminum carousel fountain pen, and this one's in a medium, and I have it inked with the Ferris Wheel Press, the Sherry Sonata. This pen is beautiful. I don't know if you can see the little filigree, and then let's see if I hold it up here. There we go. I gotta see. You can see the horse in like the carousel horse in the nib. You can see the beautiful filigree around the pen. The only thing that makes me not like the pen that much is when I have it posted and I really like it and I go like this, it falls off. Now that's a defect in the pen. I just need to contact Ferris Wheel Press and ask them to fix that for me. But it does keep me from loving the pen as much as I should. It was a gift from my boyfriend for Christmas, and therefore I will definitely get it fixed because I don't want to just keep it and not love it. But yeah, it's a beautiful pen, absolutely stunning, and I love the pairing. This is a journaler for me for sure though. All right, the next few pens that I'm going to go over are specific to the Ohio Pen Show. So the first one is my TWSBI Eco Plum and Onyx. So this one is in a broad. I love this pen. It is really, really beautiful. The Ohio Pen Show happened around the time that this pen came out, and so I saw it at Pen Realm, and I bought it. I bought way too much stuff at Pen Realm. We're just gonna let that be and be grateful to them for having an amazing staff and a wonderfully stocked store, because I love it. I have the Colorverse 2024 Blue Dragon Glistening Blue in it. That's an ink that I bought at the Ohio Pen Show, and I love this pairing. This is a big journaler for me as well. A little less so than it was last month, but I do still journal with it at least several times a week. So I love this pen. It's very moody, so depending on my mood, I will definitely grab for this one. The next one is my very first purchase at a pen show and my very first maker pen. Actually, it's my only maker pen. And this is from the Edison Pen Co. And I'm going to show you the pen because it's really unique. It's called the Elysian. And this was specifically made for the Ohio Pen Show. I don't remember the name of the resin, but it's really unique. There were lighter pens and darker pens, and this was one of the lighter ones. And it looks like a magic wand to me. But the gentleman who made it told me that the whole design of the pen started with this part right here, like the grip. And then when he made this grip, he said the only thing that made sense with it was this type of a body. And then with a pen that looks like this was the cap that he thought would make the most sense with it. And so he basically created this pen because he wanted to create that grip. And to me, he created a wand. And now they make this pen in other resins. This one was just limited to 12 pens, and they were sold at the Ohio Pen Show. And when I saw this pen on Instagram, it dictated the first thing I was going to do at the pen show, and that was go straight to Edison Pen Co. and grab this pen. And I did, and I chose number 3 of 12, and I'm very happy that I did because it is a beautiful pen. And then right after that, I went straight to Pen Realm and bought the Lord of the Rings Dawning Silver ink and inked it up. And I think I went straight off and found a bench or a table and wrote for a little bit with it. But I love it. It's in a medium, and the gentleman who makes the pens tuned the nib for me, and I love it. I love that the nib also has like there we go. I love that the nib has their like logo on it. It's really cool. I like that. And I use this pen almost exclusively for journaling. I love it. It's like a prized possession of mine. It's like one of my children. I absolutely adore it. And then the final pen I bought at the Ohio Pen Show I'm using all 3 of the pens I bought at the Ohio Pen Show right now, is the Coffee Monster Co. Estie. And I got it in the medium nib, and I love it. It's currently inked with Forgotten Iced Coffee by the Coffee Monster Co. and Esterbrook as well. And while I initially was really disappointed in the ink because it goes down pretty blue, as it dries, it does really look like coffee that you let sit out too long, especially iced coffee when it gets diluted with water. So, I mean, good job to Helen, because that is what that looks like. It looks exactly like what she says it does. And I've grown to really like it because it reminds me of the fact that I do often forget my iced coffee, and we're all human, and we can all accept the fact that sometimes we have iced coffee and we let it sit out too long, and then we end up drinking it in desperation when it looks like that. At least that's what it does to me. I love journaling with this. It feels beautiful in the hand. There are very few pens that I can write with as comfortably and as long as this pen without any sort of hand pain, and I love it. I bought this from Pen Realm as well. They were kind enough to let me sample the pen before I bought it, and that helped me decide on the medium nib and feel really comfortable with it. I will probably end up having Kirkspear put a cursive italic on this one at some point, but for now, I really do love it. The other pen that I have is, speaking of Kirkspear, is a TWSBI Eco the ivory and rose gold, and this one was tuned by him. No, excuse me, not tuned. This one was ground by him into I think it's called a love letter, or maybe it's like a love note. No, I think it's a love letter, and it's an extra fine love letter, and it's basically an italic, a very fine italic, and I love this pen. It is the pen that I use in my 5-year journal, and I adore it. I can write 2 lines in 1 Hobonichi square. That's how fine this pen is. And it still is legible. So I love this pen. This was actually the very first fountain pen I ever bought, and it's like super sentimental to me because of that. And the fact that it's also the first fountain pen that I ever have anybody do a custom grind on, to me is really special and makes it really special. So I love the fact that it's what I use in my 5-year journal. Because it's forever on my 5-year journal, it will be in every single one of my currently inked videos from now until the end of time, because 5 years is a long time. I currently have the Sailor Ankora April in this as well. That is probably the only ink that will be in this pen for the foreseeable future as well, because I like how that looks in my 5-year journal. I'm committing to using this pen with this ink for the rest of the year, and then I'll switch for 2027, and then have a different color pen every year is what I'm thinking. Excuse me, but we'll see. My next and final pen is a Jinhao 20 in the matcha and rose gold. This is such, again, it's so beautiful. It's in that same line of pens as the pink and rose gold and the white and rose gold. But this one I got specifically to use with little green men, because the minute I opened this, and I don't know if you've seen my short where I show this one. I don't know if it's short or a video at this point. I think I was so excited I had to make a whole video. But I loved this ink. I think when I opened it, I was so tickled, and I wanted a pen that I could put this in. And when I saw this pen, I thought, this is perfect, because when I am all jazzed about little green men, then I will use this pen. And then if I ever get tired of it, it's a beautiful matcha pen that I can put like a nice green matcha style ink in. It's a great pen. And I knew that I loved the Jinhao 20s. So this one I use, I actually use it a lot for note-taking at work, and I love it. It's in a fine nib, and it makes me very happy. So yeah, that's what I use for that one. All right, well, these were my currently inked fountain pens. I hope that you enjoyed looking through them. I know that I love watching everybody else's currently inked fountain pens. I get a lot of ideas on what to do with mine, and I actually take a lot of inspiration from them. So if you've ever shared a currently inked, thank you. I've probably watched it and drooled over your pens. If there's a particular pen and ink combo that you really like, please throw that in the comments. I love to hear what people are inking and what they're using and the combinations that they have. As you can tell, I like to be matchy-matchy with my pens, but I'd love to hear like pen and ink combos that are not matchy-matchy that you have, as well as the ones that are. So yeah, if you have any of these pens, what do you pair them with? What are your favorite fountain pen pairings? Please leave that in the comments. I'm super excited. I love reading all your all's comments. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I think like 90-something% of my viewers are not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe. I try to release videos every Thursday and Sunday, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.